the best way is to be a student of the past, okay? When I got back from North Bennet Street and went to, and got here, okay, we'd been studying buildings from the 1700s in New England. There aren't buildings that old here in Texas. And so what I had to do was I looked at the housing stock of Fort Worth, Texas, and when was the housing stock around, right? And so 1920s was when Fort Worth really bloomed and grew. So I started buying books about prairie-style houses, Stickley-style houses, bungalows, because it was all part of that period in that era. I made myself a student of the houses of that time by buying books and by reading. And so, you know, one of the questions in my mind is, what would a carpenter have looked at in 1920s to build a house? And I found these old millwork books that showed the stairs and all these other things. And so just being a student of the past and understanding the philosophy and the idea of why Stickley and Frank Lloyd Wright and those guys were designing the houses allowed me to go in and talk to the homeowners and say, look, you've got a great prairie style house. You don't want to tear out this. You want to, you know, restore this piece. And so I became a student of those architectural styles. And if you are that, and if you can be that student, then you can become, then you'll know as a carpenter and as a builder what to put in, what to recommend to clients, how it should look, and you'll have all the work you can handle. We've never found a bag of Confederate money or anything. It's more newspapers and things that have been stuffed in the walls that go back to a place in time. We worked on a house in Berkeley that had all these cartoon characters from the 1920s that one of the kids had drawn on the walls in the basement. That was kind of a it was this glimpse in time look at what kids were doing in the 1920s. And it was an original pencil drawing that we found out the owner's son had done. And so those are some fun things. Never money. It's typically historic fabric that's been covered up. Like I was saying, the tin ceiling that was covered up. Pulling off literally 1970s cheap paneling and finding tongue and groove burlapped paneled walls underneath this in this dining room. I mean, just crazy stuff that you're like, how did they cover this up? Stained glass windows that have been covered up that we just can't believe they did. But it's more things like that.